So the big question is, where do you fit your fire extinguisher on a Prado GXL 2021? So the only option I've found so far is fitting it under the driver's seat. There's a couple of companies make brackets. Probably the best one I've seen is the Kogan bracket. It's actually a really nice stainless steel bracket that holds it in front of the driver's seat. The only problem with it is it's bloody expensive, and I just begin to wonder, really, do you have to pay so much money to fix a fire extinguisher to your vehicle? The fire extinguisher here I got off, actually I'll put a link to this one. I think I got it off Kogan actually. Anyway, the size is very important, and whether it comes with a bracket is very important, but also the position, where you're going to put it in the vehicle. So as I said, front driver's seat seems to be the most common place that people are putting it, because there are a couple of companies that make brackets for it. But I think the Kogan one, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's $66. I looked it up, it's another $12 for delivery, so you're looking at nearly $80 for just a bracket. Now, yeah, I have to say that's a little bit pricey. So that got me thinking, is there really somewhere else I can fit this fire extinguisher? So I spent a bit of time going around my vehicle, and I'm going to show you today what the idea I came up with. So this is what I came up with. After looking around the whole vehicle, looking at the driver's side, what could I do? I came up with an idea to put it under the second row seat at the end. So this is a bracket that I made, and I'll show you, I'll insert a clip around the bracket and how I made it fit. But basically we're looking at putting it under the side of the second row seat, as you can see here, and I'll confirm again that this is a Prado 2021 GXL, but I'm sure most of the Prados are the same size here. There's a little bit of space under here, and if I hold you up from above, you'll see that it doesn't protrude from the seat. It doesn't stick forward. Yes, the seat is in the rear position at the moment, but the seat can slide forward with this bracket that I've made. And as you can see here, it's fairly accessible. So if I look at how accessible it really is, all I have to do is click the clip and pull it out. It's that simple. So that's nice and quick, as you can see. So I was very happy with that. So if I move the tag out the way for a minute, you can see once it's in place, what I've done is, so this plastic cover has two 10mm bolts, or the heads anyway, 10mm, sitting under here and just further back here, and they screw down into the bodywork of the vehicle, which makes it nice and strong. So you know you've got a solid fixing there. So what I thought about doing, and as I said, you'll see the outtake of the bracket, but basically I took steel strip. So this is galvanized steel, 25mm wide by 3mm thick, brought from Bunnings for about $7. And so I made an upright here which I bent, and then there's a second one. I don't think you can see it behind there, but it's further back from the second fixing, further back. So there are two bolts that fix, and I bent those, and that was a lot of trial and error. It was a lot of bending and seeing if it fitted. And then I put in a cross piece here, and this cross piece joins the two together, to which the fire extinguisher bracket is fitted. So this fire extinguisher bracket came with the fire extinguisher. As I said, I'll put a link to that in the description, because it's very important that you get a fire extinguisher bracket with your fire extinguisher, otherwise you're struggling to fix it. So it was a bit of tinkering around, because it's very difficult to measure in here. It's very difficult to get the right angles. It's very difficult to get the right size. But I took my time and eventually managed to get this to fit. So I had to cut the bolts behind the back of here to make them really short, so they didn't brush up against the seat behind underneath. Put in some lock nut behind here as well to stop them coming loose. and within a 3mm bracket, this is really solid. There's no flex in this at all now. Once it's in, there's no movement at all. It's rock solid, and because it fits underneath the plastic here, it's bolted down to the chassis of the vehicle, or for the frame of the bodywork I should say. And as I said, I will put in an outtake of the plastic that I had to take off, and I played around with it a bit, fixing it to the plastic with some bolts, and you'll see from that outtake about how I did it. But you know, for, as I said, for $8 and a bit of cutting and a bit of drilling and a few screws, that's about all I spent on it really. As I said, I had some screws and things available, so I just used those. I had to cut the plastic a little bit, not a lot. I got a little hacksaw and I cut underneath, so where the screw goes down to the vehicle, I cut a bit there to reduce the height a little bit of the plastic in the screw fixing, and I cut a little indent in here, not a lot. It wasn't really very much, very small amount. Yeah, and that results in a very strong, sturdy fixing. And as you've seen, there is some good space under this side of the seat, and I can move the seat forward and backwards, and there's no issue there with clearance because it's fixed underneath the seat, so the seat moves over the top of it, and because it's just low enough. So it was a little bit of trial and error, as I said, but to be honest with you, and I did do a bit of cardboard here first to check the height and whatever, and you know, it wasn't that difficult, and anybody with a couple of brain cells should be able to manage this one. You know, and I said for less than $10 I've been able to fix it in, and I actually prefer it here than under the driver's seat. Yes, I know it's not quite as accessible if you're driving, but to be honest with you, it's probably an extra 5 seconds, and you know what, the fire extinguisher really is for when we're camping. So I'm not going to be sitting in the driving seat when I need the fire extinguisher. I'm probably going to be camping and doing something stupid, which I usually do, and that's when I need it. So at least it's quickly accessible, and I think this is a really good option. So hope you like the video, hope you like the idea, and thank you for watching, and I'll take you over now to the insert of the clip. Short video just looking at where I'm putting the fire extinguisher. So making a bracket to go on the panel that comes off from here underneath the second row seats. Going to try this out, see if it works. So at the moment it won't be fixed to the bracket permanently, but like that, but I'm just simulating the setup. So I made that. Not finished yet, just tinkering around with it, but that's going to be the principle of the bracket. That's how it goes. Didn't have to do much cutting on the bottom piece, just had to cut underneath it a little bit to shorten the underneath the screws, and then just cut away a little bit at the top. Anyway, let's see how it goes. Good luck, might get it in.